doit y avoir loin des fumées de la ville un bout de plage, un coin de ciel ou une île si loin.
Bonjour and hello from Albi, where I am staying in actually one of the highlights. I am in the Salvi collegiate and cloister, which you see, well, you see parts of it here in the lovely garden. I think I'll have a look at the garden myself in a minute or two or three, as there's already tourists down there and tourist guys doing their best. Yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm actually in one of the top highlights of Albi, but for now let's just get down there and see the garden and then the rest of the city. Alright, c'est parti. So there's where I'm staying. How cool. Wonderful. That is a lot of brick. In fact, I believe it's the brickiest church in the world. So the Palais de la Berbie now houses the Henri Toulouse-Lautrec Museum, which obviously has the largest collection of his work. I'm not sure if I'll be going there today, but I might. We'll see. Well, it's also written it down for the visual impaired. Fantastic. Look at this. What a sublime place. Look at that. The Cathedral, Sainte Ceciles. Oh la la. Right. Wow. Look at these walls, eh? Oh. Now, I was hoping there were some boats for rental, because that's what I read, but I don't think there are any to be had today. It's a shame. Yeah, I've always been interested in the history of Albi and the Cathar people in particular. I read somewhere a long time ago about the fact that it was much more progressive in many ways than the Catholic Church. I can't really find anything stating to that fact right now, so I'm not quite sure if that's accurate or not. I do know there is much more of an ascetic religion, and that was mainly due to the fact that the people here were completely fed up with the very illiterate almost and poor clergy that they had to deal with here. The clergy here were often seen in very unfortunate circumstances and sexual escapades and all these things, and did not really do a proper job. I wouldn't say that necessarily led to their belief, the dualism that they created here, but it certainly helped them on their way. Yeah, at some point during 1210, the Kingdom of France and Pope Innocent III thought it best to crush the Cathar people for all time, and they pretty much did. And later on, historians really deemed it as a genocide, because many peoples were burnt to the stakes and many cities were not only ransacked, but people, everybody in the city, men, women, children, were murdered. And yeah, you can say, hey, I'm right and you're wrong, but there's ways to go about it. But after the Crusades, the Albigensian Crusade, the church was still very afraid of the Cathar people and probably other religions that didn't follow suit, and that pretty much led to the medieval Inquisition. And no, not the Spanish, not the Spanish Inquisition.
No, Mr. Wentworth just told me to come in here and say that there was trouble at the mill, that's all. I didn't expect a kind of Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapon is surprise. Surprise and fear. Fear and surprise. Our two weapons are fear and surprise and ruthless efficiency. Our three weapons are fear and surprise and ruthless efficiency and an almost fanatical devotion to the Pope. Our four. No.
Also the start of the Dominican order. Two rather significant outcomes of this time and place. Well, I'm happy that Albi survived the way it is right now, because it's incredibly beautiful. Now I'm going to look for a very incredible and beautiful lunch. À tout de suite. So here it is, a 1,000-year-old bridge. Wow. Right, another covered market. Let's look at this one. I really love the feel of this city. It's not too big, I think, and you can walk everything, so super cool. Now let's go ahead and find ourselves a nice outlook point. This is not a bad outlook point at all, is it? Wow. That's a good name for a boat, Le Copain d'Abord. I guess you can translate it into two ways: friends first, or friends on board. Right, let's take that bridge and gain another vantage point, and then, well, I don't know. I'll just stroll along. A lizard up the wall. Hello. Wow. Oh, another one. Well, that's the local wildlife for you. Les Moulins Albigeois. 10 mills dotted the two banks of the town. Okay. So this here is the La Pérouse Museum. I think it's more maritime styled museum. Not 100% certain, of course. Did I ever mention I like fountains? I think every city or every village should have one or two. So, this is actually the city hall. I do believe by chance I found the oldest house here in town. I think this is it. Maison de Vieille Albi. Well, let's see what it says in black. Historic home. Doesn't actually say so. The Occitan language is very, to me at least, reminiscent to Catalan, Spanish. Lots of these narrow little winding roads. No idea where they're going, but I can see the cathedral in the back, so I kind of know where I am. Well, you can't really miss the cathedral, can you? It's huge. Really difficult to capture the magnitude of this building.
Un vol de colombe, le vent se lève, fais ta valise et prends ton rêve comme un avion. C'est si bon de voir un rayon lunaire, un coucher de terre. Il doit y avoir loin des fumées de la ville, un bout de plage, un coin de ciel ou une île si loin.